Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so ever since I was little, I was always interested about Greek gods and goddesses. Since when I was in 8th grade, I read this book called The Goddess Test by somebody, I forgot the name, but it was just like the stories about it were, and like the different gods and what they represent was always so interesting. But what I hadn't found out till later is that there were gods before them called Titans. So I just wanted to let you know the origins of the Olympians, the gods you know now, which is like Zeus, Hades, Poseidon, Hestia, Demeter. So, the Titans were primordial deities who came before the gods, and they were basically they were like gods, but they were bigger, more huger in stature, and they ruled man with an iron fist, but they weren't too bad. They're the Titans before the Olympians were deities called. Oh no, there were male Titans and there were female Titans, and the males were called Titans, the females were called Titanesses. And then there were 12 of them, 6 girls, 6 boys. So there were Oceanus, Hyperion, Cotius, Cronus, Crius, Lapius, and the females were Nemesis, Tithys, Theus, Phoebe, and Rhea, and Themis. The ones who gave birth to those Titans were Uranus and Gaia. Uranus was the personification of the sky and the universe himself, and then Gaia was the personification of the earth. So this was like, in a way, how humans were able to explain like events they couldn't. So they always thought like there was a man in the sky, and that was Uranus. Then the earth was like a living, breathing thing, and that was Gaia. So Uranus and Gaia gave birth to the 6 Titans, but the 2 most important head Titans were Cronus, the Titan of time and ages, and then Rhea, the Titaness of fertility and motherhood. They were basically the head and the most powerful, and Cronus was their king. Rhea was his sister and his wife. There's a lot of incest in here, just all the time. The fall of the Titans came because Cronus heard a prophecy that one of his children was going to help all of his children overthrow him. So what he did is he ate his kids. And they were immortal, so they basically just lived in his belly till Rhea kept giving birth. But then Zeus came along, and she loved him so much, not like she didn't love her other kids, but she loved him so much that she couldn't let him be eaten. So what she did was she wrapped a rock in a cloth, and she gave it to Cronus to eat, and then she had Zeus sent to a cave to be raised by himself. So he thought Cronus thought that if his kids couldn't get to him, he thought if he ate his kids and they couldn't get to him, they wouldn't be able to cut off his genitals, which was a sign of him losing his power. That after Zeus became of age, he helped free his brothers and sisters, and the Titanectomy was the 10-year war that lasted between the Titans and the Olympians. Some of the Titans did help Zeus, but the ones that didn't were locked away in the bottom of the sea. Like, I think was supposed to be the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea. And then the 6 gods who came on top were known as the Olympians, which is Zeus, Hades, Poseidon, so on and so on. And to the Olympians, who ruled over man, and the 3 head gods were the youngest child Zeus, and the 2 older ones, Hades and Poseidon. So how Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades split the world into 3 parts, they drew lots, which is kind of like drawing straws. And Zeus was known to be very arrogant, so he thought he should pick first, and he winded up with the sky. Then Poseidon picked, and then Hades was left with the underworld. So sometimes Hades isn't really considered part of the Olympians because he lives under the earth. But it all depends on what sources you look at and what stories you look at that really consider him. But that's it.